Hey guys, what's up? How are you doing? I hope you are doing super awesome and things are going good for you. By the way, in this particular video, we are going to cover all these different Markdown elements, and it's going to be super exciting. I'm really excited for this video. So we'll be covering all these nine basic Markdown elements, and other than that, we have an extended seven of them. So we'll be learning all of these in this particular video, and we'll try to keep it as short and as crisp as possible. So let's get started. First thing first, what you have to do is you have to create a file with .md extension. It could be any name. I have named this readme because usually in any source code or any coding thing, you have a readme file, but it could be anything, right? So yeah, just create that and just start working with the Markdown, right? So first, let's very quickly start this particular thing. So let's start with heading tag, right? So how do you do that? So before doing that, so let's write this is our heading, right? So how do you see the output? That's the question. There's two options. One, you can right click and say open preview. That will open. That's one way. The another way is basically click on this icon and you'll have the output in the side panel. That's more better, I think. So, okay. So that's the output. This is our heading. Okay, and this is the markdown which we are writing. By the way, if you're thinking how did I close the sidebar, it's Control B. And if you want, I can create a video on all the shortcut keys in VS Code as well. So this is the title. You have three different titles. So this is the first one. This is second one. So right, this is the like little smaller than the first one, and then you have the third one. So this is the last one, right? So you have three different titles available in Markdown. Right? So that's the first element. So we successfully covered the first element, which is heading, right? The next thing what we want to cover is the bold. So how do you make things bold? It's very simple, let's make so let's say you are writing a sentence, right? So today I traveled to spelling of travel is wrong, man. Let's fix that up, right? So I'm getting that suggestion due to an extension which I have. So let's write something else, right? So today I'm really happy, right? And let's say you want to make this really bold for some reason, right? So what you can do is you can just use double asterisk, right? Double star sign. I don't know what you say. This double asterisk, right? And that will basically make that word or that particular section or whatever is there between those two asterisks may that will be bold. So that's how this second markdown element works. The next is the italic. How do you make things italic? So simple, single star, right? This will make stuff uh, italic, right? So italic, right? So there you go. So you have this as italic. So that's the next way, right? So you are aware of three different markdown elements. The next one is block quote. So how do you write a quote in markdown? It's very simple. Just give a greater than sign and then write your quote. I'll be writing one of my favorite quote, which is be the change you want to see in the world. And if you could find out who said this, just comment down below. Let's see who finds it first. Okay. So be the change you want to see in this world is how you write a quote, right? This is the greater sign. Simple stuff. Then the next very interesting thing which you'll be using a lot if you're a coder or if you're documenting something is using lists. So as we know, there are two kinds of lists. First is called the ordered list, and the next one is called the unordered list. How do you create the ordered list? Super duper simple. Just write one, maybe a grocery list, apple, uh, rice, uh, what should be that? Bread, right? That's pretty much it. So that's all what we want. That's how you create ordered list. The next stuff is unordered list. How do you do that? Simple stuff. Just give a hyphen like this. Let's create the same stuff again. So apple, rice, and bread. By the way, a lot of people, commit this mistake that they just write it something like this. This would not work. You will have to give a space in order for this to work, right? Just remember this. If it's not working, it might be due to the space thing, right? So you have two different types of list which we have covered. The next one is horizontal line. So let's say if I want to give a line between these two types of list, it's very simple stuff. Give like at minimum give three I don't know, dashes. Give three dashes and you have the line. You can give more if you wish. It's completely fine. It's up to you, right? So that was the next element. Let's move ahead. So the next is title. How do you give a title? It's pretty simple, right? Not title, I'm sorry. It's link, right? So how do you give a link, right? It's pretty simple. Just give like a heading to this. So let's say Google, right? And just in square bracket, write the title which you want, and in this parentheses, just write the URLs which you want to actually hit. So I want to hit https double slash www dot, that's four W's, google.com, right? So it should be three basically. Yeah. So that's your URL. And if someone clicks this, he or she will be basically going to Google. Very simple stuff, right? So that's how you create links, right? Next up is images, right? So let me grab some image. So Google image maybe. Let's go to images. Okay. Yeah, I have an image, very interesting image of Google. So let's copy the address, right? So let's say if you want to put an image in your Markdown file, it's pretty simple, right? So you can even link this locally if you want, locally if you have an image. And if you have a link, what you can do is you can simply say the same stuff, what we have done again on the top, just with an exclamation mark. So you have to write a text which you want to appear if the URL is not found. So let's say a Google logo, right? And then what you have to do is you have to give the URLs. There you have it. So that's the whole image thing over there. Okay, so now actually we have completed all these basic syntax. Now we'll be going to extended syntax, which are a lot more fun than the basic ones, right? So let's move ahead, right? So yeah, so the next one is table. How do you create a table? So let's say if you want to create a table of like a roll number and then student name, uh, something like that. You are there, right? So then what you have to do is you have to just make this something like this. By the way, it's not necessary to have it like all up there. This should be a table, I think. You can see the table has been created and you can just add data to it. Very simple stuff. Just add one and just the name of the student, maybe Jay, which is me. Uh, have a very long name. Uh, right? So there you go. You can add other stuffs as well. So what should we name it? John, right? So we have John, and there you go. So you have your table like that. You can just keep on adding stuff to your table, and then there you go. You have the markdown table, made. So that's how it is. The next thing is fenced code blocks. So how do you give a fenced code block? It's pretty simple, right? Just this is tilde sign. With shift and the button which is in the left of your one. So that's what it is. Okay, this is not the sign which we need. I'm sorry. Right? So you need basically the backtick, but three of them. So there you go. That's a code block, right? So now what we can do is we can just give a JSON, for example, currently, right? So let's say test this, and you can give a value, like something like that. And I think this is a code block now. You can give any code which you wish. There's an extended version of like this where you can actually mention the language, but we'll be not going into that right now because this is our basics, right? But if you want that, just come down below. I'll definitely create a video on that. Next is strikeout. How do you create strikeouts? That's also very, very simple. Just as I mentioned, tilde sign, right? Just give two tildes and this will be striked out, right? So that's there you go. You have that strike down. Simple stuff. That's strike down, right? So that's the next element. The next element after this is the task list. How do you prepare a task list? That's very simple. Just check box where you can check stuff, right? It's very simple. Just give a dash and just give like this, and then just give a space. And this is a task, right? And then what you can do is you can just give a cross over here if that is done. And if you're thinking, why is this appearing like this? Why is this not pretty? It will appear pretty once it is in the GitHub, right? See, the thing is, all these elements is not like it's not compulsory that they will work everywhere. It might work somewhere, it might not work somewhere. Like some of them work everywhere, which is like heading and stuff. But these stuffs might not work at some places. But on GitHub, this works for sure. I've seen things like that. Okay. So that's how you create a task list. So I can just add another item which I might have not done. So like what have I done? Study a chapter, study NLP. right? So that's what haven't done yet. So that's how you create task list. The next element, the next thing which I want to discuss in Markdown is basically highlighting stuff. So let's say I want to highlight this stuff, right? And let's say if you want to highlight this highlight, right? So how would you do that? Simple stuff. Double equals to in the starting, double equals to in the end, and whatever is in between the double equals to will be highlighted. By the way, it is not being highlighted right now. You can see, right? The problem is VS Code does not support this syntax yet, but I'm sure on GitHub or any other platform it will be highlighted. For example, this text. If I just do this and this is fun, and if I do this, you can see this is highlighted, right? So in some platform it might support, in others it might not. So that's the case. That's how the highlighting works. And I think we have all of them nailed in. Thank you for watching this video. And if you have any doubt in any of these, feel free to comment down below. And thank you. Have a great day. Peace. Bye bye. And yeah, bye.